Hello, welcome to this channel, you beautiful special people. How are you doing? Today I'm going to talk about the Great Healing. This is not the first time that I've talked about it, but this time I've got a new way of looking at it. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So I reckon that about 3 years ago, the emissary started saying to me in their communications, the Great Awakening is coming. They've always been saying that. That's nothing new. But they said, as people wake up, they are going to need a lot of help and they're going to need a lot of healing. And with that in mind, I started to run courses, sharing what I know about hypnosis and therapy and stuff like that. And it was great, and I had tremendous support, and I met some beautiful people on the courses that I did. And then not much happened. And I kind of thought, maybe it's not going to be the case. Maybe everybody's just going to be okay. Maybe people aren't going to wake up. Whatever. But what I'm finding with the messages from the emissaries are they're all a bit early doors. And lots of times now when I see something happen, I think, oh, the emissaries talked about that, but a long time ago. And none more so than this great healing. The reason that the great healing hasn't come up yet is because the Great Awakening hasn't happened in its great style. The awakening's been happening for a long time, but not in the great big bit. And I think this is what's coming. Certainly the sense that I get when I listen to all of the people, not just psychic people or astrologers or whatever, just people who read the signs, are all saying, ooh, the world is about to get a rude awakening, I suppose. And then I've been listening to therapists talking, and they've been talking about the same thing, that soon we're going to need a lot of healers to help people because they're going to go into a massive decline. And I was listening to somebody who was saying, the world's going to go into a depression. People are going to be so upset and so disappointed and so lost about the fact that everything that they held as true and real and strong and righteous has fallen flat. And so, I think that the great healing is still going to happen. But I think it's going to happen when it happens. So, if you have some healing skills, whatever they have been, if you have learned some healing skills with me on the course, don't think that you did it in vain. I definitely get the sense that that was not done in vain. It was done to give you some time to build up your skills, to practice them, to get good at them, so that when the time comes, we're going to be ready to be able to help people. People are going to be in a bad way. Truly, they are going to be in a bad way. If you're interested in learning some skills, many of the courses that I ran are available. You can get them as a download, and you can learn at home as well, if that interests you. If it doesn't, or if something else interests you, then why not start working on some skills to be able to help people? Even if it's, counseling. I mean, people are going to need to talk about this. Remember when we woke up, we wanted to talk to everybody. We thought that we could save them, and that was a mistake. However, I think what we really wanted to do was to talk about it. We needed to talk about it, and God, we've talked about it a lot, haven't we? Well, they're going to be in the same situation. The difference is this, that I see. What I see that's coming, that's going to wake people up, is the horrible bit of the Great Awakening, the horrible information. At the beginning it was all, well, the water's poisoned and your food's poisoned and the skies are poisoned and all of that. You go, okay, what have I got to do? But the whole theme of the children and all of that, those abuses and stuff like that, well, that I think is going to be a major part of 2025 in this awakening process. And that's a horrible way to wake up. Waking up to that, those horrors of, like people who you admired, the people who you trusted, and you find out that they were completely not to be admired and not to be trusted. And I think that's going to cause people a lot of upset and a lot of trauma. And so they're going to need some help, even if it's just a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear, and obviously if you've got skills to help them to overcome this trauma, they've got to get through it. They can't avoid it, obviously, like we couldn't, but they've got to get through it, and we've got to help them. So the great healing is coming, and I think when it comes, I heard somebody who was I listened to a guy, really weird. He's a really weird. Some of the things he said, and he uses light language sometimes. He was talking with a woman, and they were both talking in light language to one another, and I knew that neither of them understood what they were saying to each other, to one another. However, that aside, I think there are bits that he says I think are good. And what he said was he saw in 2025 that a couple are going to start opening up centres of spiritual centres where people can go to meditate, they can go to get help, they can go just to do all of the energy healing work. And he said, this couple are going to set up these places. They're going to be, like the places that you can go to and work, like these offices. You just rent the space and you've got the Wi-Fi and all of that. And he said it's going to be like that. You could just like drop in and do a bit of meditation or do a bit of breathing work or a bit of Tai Chi or whatever. And he said they're going to be billionaires. All right, good for them. But the idea of that is that, and this is what Robert said, that people are going to turn to spirituality. All of the themes and all of the subjects that were woo-woo and taboo, they're going to become mainstream. And so with that, why would people do that? Well, because they've just lost this massive amount of reality, and they've got to turn somewhere. And so they're going to turn to that. Well, that's going to be our opportunity to be able to help them too. And if at the same time you can form a business where you can help people and make a living, all the better. Imagine working in something where you're helping people to get better. Doctors used to have that. They lost that, didn't they? The medical world had that and they lost it. They've lost it. That space needs to be filled again with something else, something more meaningful, something more spiritual, I suppose. So, 2025, going to be an interesting year. Let's see if that happens. And certainly it's going to be the beginning. It's not going to be just 1 year of that. It's going to be an ongoing building process. And so get your skills together, get your knitting out, knit yourself some skills, and get ready to be able to help people. Very exciting. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.